competition ahead. The junior road race first, and then we bring you the women's elite road race this afternoon. Well, it's quite an early start then for the junior women as they get themselves ready for what is going to be 74 kilometres of racing. We'll take a look at the course shortly, just give you an idea of what's happening. It's a lot cooler this morning, 19 degrees, 2 km/h winds. It's going to be sunny though, and it's going to warm up throughout the day. Again, the riders today will be featured on the main climb as we look back at the previous winners of this competition. In the last few editions, Great Britain have dominated. Cat Ferguson last year, Julie Bigot the year before, and Zoe Baxter taking back-to-back victories as well. The American rider Megan Jastrab also. Well, this was the moment of last year. Cat Ferguson sprinting against Paula Ostis and Chad Nova, those three riders featuring in other races this week, and it was Cat Ferguson who took the victory at the end of a rain-soaked day in Zurich. Let's take a look at what the riders will face on today's race. We're going to take them around this local loop that we've got used to over the other races. It features Kigali Golf, it features Kimararura. It's a very tough bike race. 5 laps of racing today, 74 kilometres to decide the Junior Women's World Champion. On the outskirts of Kigali, which the riders have got very used to over the last few days as they've enjoyed finding out what the tracks and the roads are like. Last night I was talking about the gravel rides a few people have done around here, which apparently are absolutely exceptional. So the chance to get off the beaten track and just to see different things around this African city. Here's a reminder then of our commissaires. They're the same we've had for the week. They've been very, very busy here in Kigali. A lot for them to do in making sure they cover all these different races and all the decisions they have to make to ensure that, of course, these World Championship results are correct. Here's the rundown of the start list for today. 72 riders taking to the start of today's race, representing 34 different nations. There's some strong nations in here who will be certainly looking for this race victory today. We kind of got used to some of these riders when we rode the individual time trial the other day. So we'll see how they work out, how they compete. It's certainly going to be one of those attritional races yet again, as we've got used to on this particular course. So our 72 riders are being presented this morning from very early. Here's a Rwandan team. This is Lilian, wearing Gamiana, and Yvonne Masungesho. This is our Australian team as they get ready for racing. There they are. Hannah Giannati, Neve Parslow and Tully Schweitzer. This is the Swiss team getting set. And the Switzerland team, Anja Grossman and Elia Marta. This is the team of the United States of America, Lydia Cusack, Liliana Edwards, Alexis Jaramillo and Alyssa Sarkisov. Here's our Italian team. Elena De Laurentiis, Chantal Pagolo, Giada Silo. And here's our Dutch squad with the world champion of the individual time trial on the left-hand side there, Megan Ahrens. She's with Myrta Mons and Roos Muller, another strong rider. Canada with 5 representatives in this particular race. 2 representatives from the Norway team. Marta Dolven, Oda Gissinger, possible winners of this race for sure. They're all signed on and ready. And here's the Great Britain team trying to emulate what's happened in the past with their 5 riders who'll take to the start. Arabella Blackburn, Gabriella McHugh, Abigail Miller and Madly Phillips.
Well, there we are. Everyone is set.
Here's the team of France. Looks like we've lost one of their riders.
Rwanda for letting us be here and competing in this beautiful city of IKIGALI.
So France deciding not to have their 3 riders.
2 minutes.
This is Spain with their 5 riders. Larry Almeida, Aaron Gurin, also Castro Niera and Paula Ostis. That's the lineup for the women's junior road race.
Start making some noise. Let's wake everyone up here. We are getting ready for the
Larry Almeida, Irati, Aaron Gurin, Lydia Castro, Alejandro Nera and Paula Ostis. We're ready for the dropping of the flag. The Minister of Sports, Nelly Mukazaya, is going to drop the flag on today's race. Neutralised section at the beginning.
72 riders from 34 nations.
So it means we've got 71 riders. 1 minute until we get this race underway.
Yes, and a record number of African nations are taking part in these.
I'm sure it's going to be one of those starts where everything just gets settled down, a little bit of a frantic start as we always get in junior road racing. There's the South African rider, Megan Bota, number 70.
And we are at 30 seconds.
They're counting down then to the start of today's race.
One more time if you're ready. IKIGALI, are you ready? 20 seconds to go. One more time, make some noise. IKIGALI.
MC Brian getting everybody wound up and ready.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Megan Boto is there.
4, 3,
Very excited to race.
1.
And they're underway. 5 laps of racing, 1,520 metres of elevation, 71 riders representing 34 nations in this Junior World Championship.
As we said, it's going to be a control start at about 1.5.
So all smiles as these riders get going. The flag is hoisted out of the roof of the car as we just get everybody settled in. And the caller nations, you may wonder how these riders form up. It is done in an order. There's a caller nations depending on how these riders have performed and nations have performed. So that's why you see the African nations towards the back. So it was Lise Revol, one of the favourites for the race, who didn't start the race today, unfortunately, for France. So 71 riders in this peloton confirmed. Chilean rider over there on the right-hand side, number 50, Marlon Rojas. The American riders look very chilled and ready. The Italians on the right-hand side, they've had a good lead into this race, of course. Elena De Laurentiis is one of the race favourites for today, no doubt about that. That brightly coloured Nigerian kit is always so easy to pick out, isn't it? Olsaretin, Godwin and Divine Ogbe in that green and white kit there. It's a spectacular kit. It featured first, I think, on the track, and we saw that, and now they use it on the road as well. It's very special. Kind of summarises that nation in many ways. So this little turn, everybody's got to get safely through there. And once we get through here, it goes slightly uphill. And that means that we can get this race started, because the commissaires like to get things started on a more uphill, more difficult section rather than on a flat or downhill section. Riders just taking some drinks on board. You've got to be very careful in this race to just keep yourself moving up all the time. Again, no restrictions on gears. Here's columns to zero. The Women's Junior World Championship is underway. Natalie Phillips sitting at the back for Great Britain started, I think, towards the front. And it's going to be interesting to see the non-restricted gears and how this race will play out. Belgian team moving up on the right hand side. That's the team in that turquoise kit with the Belgian colours around the middle, the black, yellow and red. Belgium today, 3 riders: Orca de Bussa, Laura Five and Sana Lorezen. Sitting right on the back is number 36 for Greece. That's Rini Papadimitrou. And Ukraine represented up towards the front of the race as well. One representative of Ukraine, Milana Ushakova. She's there on the left in that yellow and blue kit, just alongside the Maglia Azzurra, the blue jersey of the Italian team. No major attacks yet. I wonder whether we'll just settle down until we get to the first big climb of the day. That comes up at 66.3, the top of it. We'll reach the top of the climbs all the way through. These ascents of Kigali Golf are going to be a little tricky. The riders reach the top of the climb at 51.2 kilometres to go, 36.1, 21 and 5.9. The bottom of the first climb will come up at 65.5. That's the Nigerian team with that green and white kit. Godwin and Ogbe. We'll see whether anyone is prepared to go on the attack as the Dutch move up. Megan Aarons moves up towards the front, the world time trial champion there. She is on the right hand side, moving up steadily in the orange coloured kit. heading up towards her teammate. She wears that dark blue, kind of purple coloured helmet that she's got on. Slightly orange shoes to match her orange kit. And a nice steady tempo in the early stages of this race. There's a lot of riders today who are going to find this the longest race they've ever done. I think Canada have a very good chance today to do something in this race with Sydney Swarenga. If we look at her tracked kilometres in races, she has done more career kilometres as a junior rider than pretty much everybody else in this peloton apart from Paula Hostis of Spain. For sure this is the race with the most climbing of any of the World Championships for juniors. In Wollongong we actually had 998 metres of climbing, quite significant, but this one is 1,520 metres. When we were in Zurich we had 926 metres of climbing, Kat Ferguson taking that win. In Leuven it was 854, Zoe Backstead 823. In Glasgow, Julie Begaud took the victory. Megan Jastrab won in Harrogate, and you would have expected Harrogate to have a lot of climbing. In reality, they only had 422 metres of climbing in the race. So today is considerably harder than any of the other races we've seen in the World Junior Championships. There's the rundown of the Dutch team. They'll be looking at Arendt, but the rest of the riders, Mons and Muller, are as good in terms of trying to win this road race. They've got all sorts of options. There is Megan Ahrens, number 22. She wants to be like Demi Vollering, and she's already starting to emulate her. Maybe as far as her performances at junior level are concerned. We'll see Demi Vollering in the women's race later on. Great Britain at the front, Australia are represented. Italy up towards the front now. Just trying to get some sort of cohesion and control with the Italian team. There's a lot going on in this peloton we can't quite see right now, where riders are just trying to get themselves into position, just get a feel of the course. The riders have had the chance, of course, to ride around this route and see how it's going to be. And the fans are already out as we head towards Kigali Golf. Great Britain just taking up position on the front of the group. .69 kilometres to go. Bottom of the climb is 65.5. This is the Brazilian rider sitting at the back, number 65. Mount Vitoria. Started cycling at 9 years of age, inspired by her dad, a marathon runner. She's been the national champion in the road race and the individual time trial. Really got noticed when she finished last year in the under-19 Tour of Portugal. She was 3rd overall. And that meant that she got realised and noticed, oops, a little jump on the pavement, unfortunately, she had to do to avoid something happening. That might be a problem. Let's hope not. I hope that the commissaires look at that kindly. So she now races across Europe for a French team, Albi Velo Sports. She's the very first. Oops, and a problem here. Number 56, Mercy Aragai, has an issue. Well, that Brazilian rider makes history as the first Brazilian junior ever to line up at the World Championships. What an incredible journey that's been from Rio de Sol to Africa. So Brazil making a bit of history today in this junior women's road race. Starting the first part of the ascent now. And it's Canada on the front. Top of this climb is 400 metres away now. Canada just trying to keep the tempo nice and high. Great Britain also represented up there. The Italian team tucked in behind in the blue jerseys. The American squad moving up on the right-hand side. Here comes the team of the Czech Republic. They've got Antonia Chirmanova, Anna Hanikova, Anishka Kisilkova and Karolina Spikarova. The team in the blue on the right-hand side. Lots of blue though. Very light blue with the red down the middle. The little flashes of white. No real attacks now. They're still riding well though. 20 kilometres an hour on this particular climb. They're averaging a decent speed. And this is a problem for Maeva Magniol. I don't know if she's having a bad moment or whether she's coming back. Yeah, she's coming back through the cars. Up with her French team car. Let's see whether she can get herself back in. Maybe had a bit of an issue and she's just trying to come back now. So no main attacks yet, as these riders just settle themselves in. Get themselves comfortable. I think everybody has seen just how tired riders are at the end of these races, and they just want to conserve the energy as much as possible, not go out too early. South African rider over there on the right hand side, Erin Mackridge, number 71. It's good that these South African riders have been able to bring more riders here this time. She's the South African road race champion. Of course, it's always difficult for the African nations to bring riders when the championships are in other parts of the world, because the funding for that particular team, it's not particularly high all the time. They do everything they can, but it's always tricky. But they're riding well together. She was third in the individual time trial in South Africa in the Junior National Championships, wearing number 71 there on the right-hand side. Papadumitriou, she went to the front, now she's at the back, and it shows you how important it is in the junior road race that you need to be moving up all the time. You've got to hold position, you've got to feel like you're moving forward, because if you're not moving forward, you will move backwards. And it's very obvious there that Megan Aarons has done the same. She went to the front, now she's at the back. Papadumitriou did the same, and it's risky to be this far back. Over the top of Kigali Golf for the first time. Now we start to descend down. And great news for France. They've already lost a rider before the start, but Miva Planiol is on her way back. She dives her way through the peloton. Doesn't seem to be having any issues then, so she's got the legs. Megan Aarons seems to be having not the best start to this race. Maybe taking a little bit of time to get the legs going. We wouldn't have expected to see her back here. This is the South African rider we were talking about, Erin Mackridge. Nice shot of her as she goes downhill. She needs to get herself into that slipstream. She's struggling a little bit on this descent, but she looks to me she's got a big problem, and that chain's off. That's not good news at all. She's trying to come to a standstill. She's got a big issue here as she tries to get the chain back on. Oh, and that's terrible news for this South African rider. She was going well. She finally gets the chain going. That's good news. Well done to her. A little bit of panic going on here. No one helping her. You would have thought someone would have jumped out of a car and sorted her out. .66 kilometers an hour. She was already struggling in the slipstream to stay in there. Now she needs to chase. Well done to her for getting that back on though, because sometimes when you get the chain twisted like that, you have absolutely no chance of getting it back on, and you need a mechanic. 77 kilometers an hour now downhill. Big crash of one of the Italians as we made our way towards the cobbles. Problem there then as she tries to get herself back. Giada Silo. Taking her a long time to get going, not the best time here. Oh, she's having a terrible moment here. Just came into that corner and lost the back wheel completely. Whoa, that was a crash. Just a little bit hot into that turn, just the bike just didn't hold the tarmac. Everybody looking around at each other. On to Kimura for the first time for these riders. At the front, the Ethiopian rider. And here she comes. What a job she's doing. Giada Silo, Italian champion in 2024. And riders going out the back. Rosemary Teal goes out the back. Oh, that's such a shame for the French rider. She's had that big chase, Maeva Planiel, and now she goes out the back. Go into the red zone, and that could be it. Oh, she's cut up, isn't she, after that crash? Going out the back also now is Maria Yelkina. This Italian rider is doing a good ride here. Marco Vello comes alongside. Very experienced Marco Vello, just to say, don't worry, let's get you back in. A little bit of encouragement. She rides for Braganza Millennium Team, an 18-year-old rider from Italy. She's had some great results. She is one of the riders who could win today. Two Rwandan riders now going out the back, unfortunately. Both of them being dropped. Also being dropped, surprisingly, is Sanne Lauritsen of Belgium. So the two Rwandan riders finding the cobbles a little bit much. And it's the pace being set at the front here by the Swiss team. The Italians are up there, not setting the pace. Canada also pushing this pace on a little bit. At the front, the Ethiopian rider could be a history maker today. Sanne Lauritsen, cyclocross Belgian champion, should be quite happy on this terrain, but she's obviously having a bad start to this race, doesn't feel comfortable. The Namibian rider is dropped. Let's see if she can get herself back in here. Megan Aaron's also really struggling at the back. South African rider on the right-hand side, unfortunately having a little bit of an asthma attack, I think. So if she gets a little bit of help. That's not good news for, I think it was Megan Botha. I think having an asthma attack on the right-hand side. I hope someone goes to see her quickly. She's asking for a little bit of help there at the side of the road. And over the top of the climb for the first time. This is an intense course and it's very, very hard. So it's not Megan Aaron's now who's dropped, it's Myrta Mons, number 23, who's gone out the back of this peloton. Megan Aaron's has clearly got herself back in. Myrta Mons over the top of the climb nice and smoothly, but these two riders are finding this a little bit difficult. Now the Ethiopian rider, right there in the second from the left as we look, with the blue bike and the yellow sleeve and red sleeve, she could really do something special for Africa today. She's part of the World Cycling Centre. She just finished 22nd in the general classification of the Tour de l'Avenir. She's the Ethiopian champion. She is an incredible bike rider. And she looks like life is very, very easy at the front of that peloton right now. Aarons has moved up on the right-hand side, looking a lot more comfortable now. More riders coming back. Myrta Mons is coming back, so is the Belgian rider. She makes the back of the peloton. So maybe just having a difficult moment on those cobbles, just didn't like the pace. The end of lap number 1 of this 5-lap race. Finding the pace a little bit too hot to handle is Antonia Sermanova. And a very bunched pack now, having lost a number of riders from the 71 that started on lap number 1, but we'll see what the average speed is and we'll see who's left. The end of lap number 1 of this women's junior road race. We've ridden that lap at nearly just under 24 minutes. Lap number 1 completed. And everybody across the road. They get themselves to the feet. The opportunity to take bottles on board and get themselves ready. Taking bottles, as many bottles as they can, gels, getting rid of bottles as well. Number 41 there, moving her way up, Aliyah Marta. Number 17 at the back is Marta Dolven. Average speed 34.3 kilometres an hour on that first lap, so a very steady opening lap of racing, as we can tell. That's our Brazilian rider at the back. Lots of history being made today. Lovely Phillips just having some water poured over her back. Abigail Miller doing that for her, number 4. And Gabrielle McHugh to her left-hand side. That's one of our riders from Colombia. Osorio, number 38. Just spinning along there nicely in the peloton and just conserving the energy. Luciano Osorio, 7th in the Pan American Youth Games in the road race back in August. She's the Pan American Continental Champion as a junior in both the road race and the time trial. Now we start to see a little bit of an acceleration from Spain. And the first big attack of today's race. So a really big stretch at the front. It's Ruth Muller who's making a move with the Spanish rider as well. Suddenly this peloton is in one long line as riders have to react to the acceleration. And the Brazilian rider makes her way back into the group, which is good news. And another counter-attack from Czechia. Just jumping off the front now. So that little reaction has caused now waves to go through the group. This is Germanova. She was struggling for a little while, and now she's back at the front looking good. Germanova on one of the UAE Team ADQ bikes, as you can see, with the colours of that machine as she makes her way off the front. Seconds now is the advantage as she jumps away. Aaron sitting again towards the back on the right hand side. Germanova, 17 years of age. She's had some good results this season already. Already growing to 12 seconds this advantage. A nice attack by Germanova. This is one of the Kazakhstan riders. Germanova looking comfortable. It is one of the old UAE Team ADQ bikes that she's riding. You can tell immediately with the four colours that she's got. She's time trialling away very, very nicely, isn't she? She's ridden a lot of races this season, 34 race days for a junior, and she's had lots of top 3 results. She's raced quite a lot in Belgium during the season. She was 9th in the junior Tour of Flanders. Finished 2nd on the stage of Vuelta Cantabria. 3rd overall in the general classification. That race was won by Spirakova, her teammate. Celia Torres was in 2nd place. She's decided to take this race on nice and early. Just finished 18th in the Grand Prix Serra Tizit. That was back at the end of August in preparation for these World Championships. 27 seconds is a considerable margin now for Germanova to do something and grow this lead even further, because everybody seems quite happy to just let this pace just track along. She's taken a good opportunity. There's a long, long way out. And one of the Rwandan riders returns back into the peloton. And more riders coming back. Another of the Rwandan riders returns as well. Joined by Rahel Gimbato, the other Ethiopian, number 57. So it's obviously been quite a hard chase for them, but they've managed to get themselves back into the peloton. Live another day here. There's one of the Ethiopian riders who's just returned. Works her way up the outside. It's very important always in junior racing to be thinking, okay, I'm at the back now, but that's not the place to be. Get myself back up there as close to the front as possible. This rider is very, very comfortable, isn't she, in the cadence she rides and the way she rides. Look at that, there's no rock in those shoulders whatsoever. It's all about energy transmission through the pedals, keeping the pace as high as possible. And she's tracking along here at 50 kilometers an hour. Looks extremely comfortable that she could continue like this for a long period of time. She's now in a position where she controls what happens. She's able to ride the lines that she wants to ride. And she heads her way towards Kigali Golf for the second time. We reached the bottom of there in 1.4 kilometres. Before there, we've got that little bit of a drag uphill now. Megan Aaron sitting at the back. Last night we went to an important presentation in the world of cycling where they announced the various schedules for the next year's World Championships, which will be, of course, in Montreal in Canada. They announced the different days. There will be a bit of a return, actually, to how the World Championships used to be. So there will be a day where there is no racing at all on the Wednesday of the schedule. What was noticeable was that there will be a day on Tuesday of 3 different races to be held. But a lot of racing to cover, of course. One thing that really stood out for me was that the women's elite road race will be held over 180 kilometres on the Saturday with 2,500 metres of climbing. 180 kilometres is a long, long way. And I think the longest World Championship we've ever had for women. Other things to note was that the women's and men's elite individual time trial will take place on the first day on the Sunday, and they'll both be held over exactly the same distance of 39.9 kilometres with 195 metres of elevation, so pretty much a flat power time trial. So for the men it will suit those real power riders. For the women it's a Marlon Royster style course. Big day on Tuesday will be a men's junior time trial, the team time trial mixed relay and the women's junior individual time trial all on the same day. So a lot of headlines there, and there was a really nice presentation by the various people from Montreal. It was interesting to hear the various tourism aspects. She's now shown 40 seconds. The tourism aspects of Montreal, what they're planning, lots of background on visas and the feel of the city. Got a full rundown of all the courses, and I'm sure you'll be able to see those now online with the various media outlets covering them. On to Kigali Golf then for the peloton. Now it feels like some of the teams realise that they don't want their lone leader out there for too long. That time when we got to the end of the lap, there were 47 riders left in the peloton from a total of 71 starters. We've seen a few riders return. And now this Ethiopian rider has decided that she's going to push the pace. Sege Kiros. She looks like she wants to start to make some selections. She comes up and catches Germanova already. Let's hope that she doesn't get carried away and do too much too early, because this rider has a chance of winning this World Championship. Now she attacks. Ethiopia in the ascendancy on this climb. Well, so much of the work in the African nations is about trying to find an endurance athlete who is world class. And this rider is. There is no doubt about it. So a little selection now at the front of this race. Germanova is caught, and it's the Ethiopian rider who is trying to make everybody suffer a little bit. She's dragged away a group of riders. She checks over her shoulder and she goes again. If you ever saw a pure climber in world cycling, oh, she has the exact stature and the riding style of a pure climber in world women's cycling. She looks like she is really making everyone hurt. There are riders grappling for wheels right now. So a selection of riders now at the front of this junior women's road race. We're over Kigali Gulf for the second time. Tucks in on the wheel now. The Ethiopian. This is the back of the peloton. And the Australian team trying to come back now into the race. Tilly Schweitzer is dragging this group back. Coming back into the race then, Mabley Phillips. Now a bit of a swelling of that peloton. Everybody looking around at each other. Some conversations going on as well. The Spanish rider is having a real go at having a real chat at riders across from her. This is Alexandra Safiri, she's back in the group. So the Cypriot rider back into the group of riders. Number 69 there on the right hand side. We're heading towards Kimi Herrera for the second time. Now riders get the sense of who has got the legs. There's no doubt that the Ethiopian rider has got the climbing legs. Can she use those to good effect as the race continues? Number 5 there, Mabley Phillips. Number 4 is Abigail Miller. Number 41 there is Leah Mutter from Switzerland. Switzerland have a good team in here with the 2 riders. Anya Grossman is the rider on the front who's keeping alongside everybody else. Canada moving up with Sydney Swarenga. Again, they've had their guidance from during an early season with Caroline Canuel from Canada. Trying to just give these riders all the little attributes they need to be clever and win bike races, giving them the experience they need. The Canadians have always, particularly in cyclocross, have had a little bit of a base as more riders come racing back in. Canadians have always had a base in Belgium, particularly around cyclocross. We've seen them grow in their stature around the sports and the development of riders. They've particularly been based and helped by Tim Harris in Belgium as well, who's got he's well known for having a load of houses around Belgium where the races are on. He's an ex-professional rider, an ex-sports director for the Movistar team, and he certainly helps out as many teams and riders as possible. Downhill now. The Great Britain team starting to show towards the front. This is one of the fastest sections of the course. Liliane Gamana at the back, number 67. Let's see if she can just stay there now. The Brazilian rider we were talking about a little while ago, she's still hanging around the back of this race. She could do with trying to find her way up the group of riders into a more comfortable kind of level. There's one thing saying it, it's another thing actually doing it. This is where we saw the crash last time. Wow, that was a fast rock into that particular left-hander from the Norwegian, and back onto the cobbles for the second time. Now, last time we saw a number of riders really struggle up here. Moving up on the outside, Canada, the Ethiopian rider still there and looking good. And again, more riders feeling the pace. Chumanova actually has gone out back again this time. Elodie Malouaz of Canada, she's struggling a little bit here. Again, Sunny Lorizon of Belgium, she's struggling too there on the right-hand side. It's the same riders who are feeling the pace. Oh, a number of the Canadian riders suddenly feeling the pace. 3 of their riders going out the back. Abigail, 48, also struggling a little bit. Number 12, number 13 there is Raphael Hood. Suddenly, they are not enjoying this climb at all. And yet again, it's the Ethiopian rider who really rips it up the cobbles. And again, a selection is being made. Alexis Charamillo also struggling. Front of the race then on the left-hand side, Ethiopia represented, Switzerland, Canada, Australia on the right-hand side, France are represented too, so are Italy. This forcing of the tempo is really starting to cause problems for riders every single lap. And there are riders who are finding cobbles just not to their liking at all. And slowly but surely this attritional race, even in these early stages, is starting to show us who the strongest bike riders are in this women's junior road race. Australia still have one rider right at the back there. There's a massive group of riders that have been dropped. The British riders are in here as well. Gabriella McHugh, gear problem there for Marta Dolven. Doesn't look like it's going to be the day for Megan Aarons at the moment. Her and her teammate Ruth Muller are also out the back. Well, that's a little bit of a surprise, but it's that cobbled section, that push that the climbers are making, that is really making a massive difference in this particular race. Anja Grossman of Switzerland, so animated. Australia have one representative in here. Italy have 3 riders in this front group. All 3 of their riders are making the selections. Elena De Laurentiis, Chantal Pugolo, Giada Silo, this is Gabriella McHugh. This is an extremely hard race so early. And there are just groups of riders spread all over this course. Just coming under 50 minutes. And I worry about the Ethiopian rider doing so much work. She's been on the front so many times, but maybe that's her main tactic of the day. Just keep the selections going, wear everybody down. She is the best chance so far of Africa getting a medal in these World Championships. Of course, this afternoon they've got a massive opportunity with Kim LaCour. End of the second lap of racing. 3 laps to go. The front group is only 18 riders now already. Now these riders will try and get back on over the top. They're already 19, 20 seconds down, 21 seconds down. But 18 riders in the front group. Sergei Kiros, Anja Grossman of Switzerland, Tully Schweitzer of Australia, Sydney Sorenga of Canada, Alejandra Nera of Spain, Giada Silo of Italy, Erin Berthman of Britain, Thais Poirier of France, Chantal Pugolo of Italy, Paula Ostis of Spain, Elena De Laurentiis of Italy, Maria Orkuczynska of Poland, Rafael Carrier of Canada, Liliana Edwards of the USA, Niamh Marslow of Australia, Laura Feeve of Belgium, Alyssa Sarkisov of the USA, and finally Oda Gissinger of the team of Norway. That's the front group of riders. There are some names not in the front group that we would have expected. Such is the harshness of this race so far. Anja Grossman looks very, very comfortable. Australia now start to up the tempo. Erin Berthman in second place for Great Britain. It's Tully Schweitzer who's trying to keep this momentum going. This is number 50 from Chile. This is Marlon Rojas. In front of Ruth Muller, trying to come back into the peloton. Suddenly there's a little bit of a slowing of the pace. Well, today I'm sure that the Swiss riders remember Muriel Ferrer. The sad moment of 1 year and 1 day ago, with the UCI retiring number 84 from future Junior World Championships. And I'm sure today that the Swiss riders, Anja Grossman and Alia Marta, have got Muriel Ferrer in their minds in some way. And I'm sure the whole Swiss community has as well. An attack now from Spain. Big move down the right hand side as we look. Having had that return of riders, they've decided to go on the offensive. And now Arabella Blackburn tries to do the same, immediately coming onto her wheel as the Swiss rider. It's Laura Almania who is up the road now on the attack for Spain. This is the rundown of the Spanish team. So Laura Almania at the front, 18 years of age, third in the Junior National Road Race Championships. She's also had some good results this year. She won a race in Spain back in March, the Trofeo Via Dondara Femenino. She's ridden a few races across the world. And riders retiring here at the finish line. This is Hanakova of Czechia, end of her race. Well, this rider likes to go on the moves, Laura Almania. She's had quite a lot of top 6 places during this season, this rider, so she's not to be underestimated as she rides away. Rides for a little team called Rio Miera CC Marula Juniors. Everybody has just settled down now as she starts to grow elite. The bottom of Kigali Golf this time will be 36.9 kilometres of racing to go. Alongside each other, number 60 and 62, Danshina and Ismailova, riding for the neutral athletes team. There they are in that kind of ice blue kit, I think we'll call it. Just riding alongside each other, keeping each other together. Megan Aarons has found her way back into the race, number 22. It's always difficult when you win the individual time trial as a junior. So much happens on that particular day. And I'm sure the excitement is pretty high as well. So your recovery time doesn't necessarily allow you to just be as prepared as you could be. So it might take her a little bit of time to just get herself feeling as she did the other day. So Almania looks around, glances across. There is a chance when you go through that turn that you can glance over to the left and you get an idea of where the peloton is. We're coming up to be inside the final 40 kilometres of today's race. bike tattoo on the Spanish rider. She just sprints her way over the top of that little rise. Just keeping the momentum going, all very important. All these little techniques that riders learn at this sort of age. Just keep the momentum over the top of the climb. Don't let the climb slow you down. Just sprint over the top. Keep the momentum over the top and keep pushing so that you accelerate your way onto the descent. So if you're just joining us, we are into 3 laps to go. We've got one rider off the front. That's the Spanish rider, Almeida. She's just attacked. She's gone clear. And here's a rundown of the situation. Peloton. And a little bit behind the Spanish team, one rider has been dropped. There's a lot of people around the race at the moment today and helping out with the various teams. Just seen a little post from Africa Rising, which is the organisation that's doing everything it can to try and promote the African riders. I think Benin have got a shared car today with Namibia for women's junior race. They brought in one of their riders, Roger Surin, who we've seen racing, as the Namibian mechanic, and they've got Adrian Neonshuti driving. And I think I mentioned him the other day, so while they're in the car, they've called Dan Craven, who's from Namibia, to say hello as well. So everybody linking in together. Incredibly today, I can't quite believe it, it's 10 years since Lizzie Deignan won the women's road race in Richmond in Virginia. 10 years goes quickly, doesn't it? Well, the fans enjoying this race so far as we make our way towards the climb of Kigali Golf this time. We're almost at the bottom. This rider's going to be first onto it. Then we'll see whether there's any more damage on this climb as riders try to accelerate. We'll see whether next time round we have more than the 18 riders we had in the peloton. Things have swelled now, more riders are coming back. It's one of those courses where you just don't give up. You make sure that you try and keep the pressure on. And retiring here at the finish is Davine Ogbe of Nigeria. Just trying to recover after what has been a tough race. Today's race started with 74 kilometres of racing to go. We're now at 36.8, so we're inside the midway point. Thank you for all your messages today. Anton McCrossness, if you would like to get hold of me during the racing. We've got a big, long day of coverage of today's races with the junior women and then the elite women this afternoon that we are very much looking forward to. How is that race going to play out? 500 metres or so to go to the top of Kigali Golf this time. We crested at 36.1 kilometres of racing to go. Megan Aarons doesn't enjoy these little accelerations, does she, at the back? Whose legs must be hurting after that time trial. She's just looking for any way of staying there. I don't know if you've had a look at Alison Jackson's social media in the last day or so, but she's got a lovely reel of all the shots that she's taken of the locals out on their bikes. And I saw the other day when we were out and about. I haven't had much chance to be out and about because we've been here most of the time, but with people with big, massive bunches of bananas on the back of a bike, or milk crates, or carrying doors or windows or whatever on the back of these long wheelbase machines that they have. It's absolutely incredible to see. Yet again, Sonia Grossman on the front, who is setting the pace. The Ethiopian rider decides, Kiros, to just sit in the wheels this time. Maybe decided it's good to keep a little bit of energy in check. The gap is 28 seconds. I don't think that's 28 seconds though, is it? That's coming back very, very fast. Just shows the tempo at which this group of riders is able to ride this particular climb. Dore Almania is in front, and they're nearly at the top of IKIGALI Golf, and they're almost on her wheel. Kissinger looks comfortable, doesn't she, number 18? Also, Alyssa Sarkisov of the United States is there at the back. She looks very comfortable on these climbs as well. So the peloton come round the corner, everybody looks at each other. They've almost caught the leader, they're 12 seconds behind her, but now there's no real push to try and catch her. The Italian team moving around a little bit just behind. Gail Miller just pedalling her way back on. Megan Aaron's doing the same. Marta Dolvin in the colours of Norway, that red, white and blue coloured kit. She wants water. Looking for her Swanya. It's extremely warm. She sees her Swanya a little bit further up. Looking for some water now, which she manages to get, which is good news. Gets rid of the bottle as well. Got a gel attached to that. Puts it in the pocket. She'll need that a little bit later. She's still got 35 kilometers to go. So important that these riders are able to get their hydration. First hour racing, 34.3 kilometers an hour. Well, not actually that far off the average speed of the women's under-23 road race when you look at it. So this time round, she's going to get 2 laps of racing to go. This is our solo leader, Dore Almania of Spain. Two laps of racing to decide this World Championship, and this is a shot, gives you that perspective in the background of the hills that just roll away from here. Now Great Britain have decided it's time to try and keep some momentum going, not let this gap go out too much. We're heading towards the cobbles again. Megan Aaron's just pouring some water onto her legs and just trying to keep herself as cool as possible. It started at 19 degrees when we came out for today's a race, but it still feels intense. 19 degrees. It's not quite so intense in here. Someone's put the air conditioning on at about 12 degrees, but apart from that, you go outside and it feels completely different. Here's our rider from Lesotho, Ponso Makatile. Starting to grow a lead again. The blackboard comes up and just shows her what her time gap is. Because remember, as we've said a few times, there's no race radios in this race. This is the French rider, Maeva Planiol, who has pulled out of the race. It's not her day today. It's good she's got 2 bottles on the bike now, so she can keep herself nicely hydrated around this course. 66k an hour. She just checks over her shoulder just to see what the situation is. She'll want to get to the cobbles, just keep things pushing on and see who comes across to her, maybe hoping that she can sort of prize some riders across. And it's really taking the pressure off the rest of the Spanish riders here, which is great for them. Paul Ostis, one of the race favourites, and Alejandro Nera. Gabrielle Q wearing number 3, and just behind her is Anishka Kisakova. Onto the cobbles then for the next time. She's chosen to go to the left-hand side. Notably, riders seem to prefer to go far left or far right if they can, if they're on their own. Man, a problem here. Oh, this is not good news. The Ethiopian rider, Segi Kiros, she's had a mechanical. Oh, trying to get herself going again now. And she's got a bit of a chase. Well, the hopes of Ethiopia. She's been riding an incredible race so far, but Kiros now is in difficulty. She's got to fly her way up the cobbles, and that can take her into a zone she didn't want to be in. Now it depends how hard this group of riders ride this climb, because if they realise she's not there, they're going to try and take advantage. She's going to have to pick her way through all of these riders. Here she is. This will give you an idea of how good a climber she is. She's got to be careful here not to overextend herself if there's more attacks. So they're about to catch the solo leader on this climb. The third ascent of Herrera. Sydney Sorenga there on the right-hand side for Canada. The Ethiopian rider is almost there. I can just see her in the background. She's flying her way up this climb. Meanwhile, riders like Roos Muller and others are going out the back. Lydia Cusack of the USA is dropped. Number 39. Ushakova of Ukraine being dropped now, so is Gabriella McHugh. USA, I think, with Sarkisov could be their hope for today. Just got to believe, it looks like Kiros has got herself back into the wheels now, and luckily for her, this peloton is not forcing the pace at the front. At the end of the day, actually, it's been her that has done most of the pacemaking on these cobbles with Anja Grossman of Switzerland. Canada still looking good with 2 riders there. Italy look the strongest though, don't they? All 3 of their riders riding on that left-hand side, looking good. 20 kilometres an hour the pace. Well, the Ethiopian rider is back in the group then. Sege Kiros, she's right on the back, tucked herself in now, hiding to try and recover. The Australian rider there on the left-hand side, she still looks good. Tilly Schweitzer. Tilly Schweitzer just tucks herself in. 18 years of age. Was 28th in the time trial the other day. She's had some good results, finished second in the Tour of Assen this year. Now, Tour of Assen is a very famous junior bike race. And Australia got 2 representatives in here now. Tilly Schweitzer's always been near the front. Tour of Assen, famous bike race. Juniors around the world go to every year. Number 37, Castrillo, being dropped, trying to come back. It really is a horrible climb, isn't it? But this little group is just off the back. Constantly on the front is Anya Grossman in the red and white of Switzerland. It's a very steady tempo this time as they make their way to the completion of this lap. They're going to get 2 laps of racing to go. Everybody doesn't seem to be prepared to take the initiative right now, knowing that this distance is starting to bite, the legs are starting to hurt a little bit more, and no rider has really managed to break away for a long period of time. We just saw the Spaniard for nearly a lap.
Yes, that's what we want to hear. Hear them on bang on the barriers here.
So they pedal their way towards the completion of this lap now. It's a tough climb, a real drag up to the line. All riders have found their way back in. So the recovery there of the Ukrainian rider, she's found her way back into the group of riders. We're at nearly an hour and 20 minutes of racing. The women's junior road race is starting to enter its finale now. 2 laps of racing to go. This is our peloton, which actually has swelled in numbers, bearing in mind there were only 18 riders in the peloton the last time around. They go through, the average speed has dropped, 33.902 the average speed. Led over the line by Arabella Blackburn. 37 riders now in that front group, so we've really swelled and more than doubled it.
Was a lap that completed in 33.5 average speed of this race 33 kilometers.
37 riders in that front group now. And so many riders who might have been suffering earlier may well now be feeling, okay, we've now got a chance, and I'm starting to ride into this race. Abigail Miller moves up, gets rid of the gel, she doesn't want that. Number 17 alongside her is Marta Dolven. Arabella Blackburn was the first rider across the line. She starts to up the pace. And now a really stretched group of riders as they start to put maybe the last couple of laps plan into place. So a bit of an acceleration now, and Italy are starting to put riders in here. Italy have just been following all day today. So again, everybody looking at each other, swinging across the road. No one prepared to take the initiative right now after that acceleration. Spanish team come forward again. Last year it was Kat Ferguson who took the victory ahead of Paula Ostis. So Ostis is in here. She's the rider in that Movistar helmet, in third place in this group of riders. So she was silver medalist last year. She wants the victory this year as Spain start to ramp this up a little bit. More counter-attacks. That's how the peloton is comprised. It feels here like there's been this lull in the middle of the race, and now we're starting to get more riders who believe that this championship could be theirs, whereas before they were really suffering in the wheels. So it's going to be these last couple of laps, and particularly that cobbled section in those last two laps, that is going to decide this race. Another big move at the front, big acceleration. Riders really trying to get clear now from the front of this women's junior road race, using this uphill section to stretch the tempo. That little attack is nullified. Yet again, Anya Grossman at the front for Switzerland. The rider who looks the most comfortable in this race right now is the Ethiopian. And I would also say the Spanish rider, Paula Ostis, looks really comfortable. She's made her way up towards the front. She's now got her team working. Romania is doing everything she can. Megan Aarons is at the back of the group still, so she has survived all of the assaults. Romania gets a bottle. Making our way through the gears. A little conversation going on here. A chance then for some team tactics. Don't always get too much opportunity for the team tactics because of junior race, no radios. You've got to go back to the team car, but it's a nice lull here to get a chance to talk to your sports director, get some information, think about how you're going to win this race. Really intent, aren't they? This peloton is fully focused now. Italy moving up on the right-hand side. Another big attack. Constant moves to try and shift the breakaway group of riders. Every single time this road goes uphill. Yet again, Anja Grossman not prepared to let this go, the Swiss rider. 52k an hour over the top of that climb, and still this race is stretched. But still no chance of these riders getting away because every single attack is nullified. It's a really stretched peloton now. We're coming up to IKIGALI Golf for the next time. We're not too far away from that climb. That might be another springboard. Seemingly, the Swiss rider, Anja Grossman, wants this race to keep together. She must feel incredibly strong today to try and win at the top of the final climb or to make her move on the cobbles. And Spain now take control. They seemingly want to keep things nice and controlled for Paula Ostis. I do wonder though whether she can win at the top of this final rise. She's a good sprinter. We saw her very strong in the time trial. Not too far to go now, 24.1 kilometres. Only one rider has managed to take a big advantage over the rest of the field, but it was quickly brought back together. So it's kind of been an ebb and flow of a race. But we've maybe not lost as many riders as we thought. The only time we did was when Kiros attacked over the top of that climb and took only 18 riders to the finish. I wonder whether, having now recovered after that problem, that she will be the rider who manages to make that happen again. The question is whether the legs are good after that mechanical and having to chase so hard. Look at the elbow. Great Britain seem to want to have something happen here. Look at the length of this peloton. One long line as we make our way towards IKIGALI Golf this time. Alia Malta at the back for Switzerland. Her teammate Anja Grossman has been the rider on the front most of the time. France moving up. They've only got one rider left, so he's Poirier. So she gives France an opportunity. Australia still with two riders in here. So Arabella Blackburn still trying to get some sort of attack going for Great Britain. She's constantly looking around, checking on where everybody is. Her team leader for the day would be Erin Boothman behind. She's wearing number 2. But they may well decide that Arabella Blackburn is feeling the best today. She certainly looks strong, but she just can't get away. Towering over the rest of the riders and looking exceptionally strong as we near the conclusion of this race. Again, it's Spain in the ascendancy and Colombia also getting involved in the mix now. The Greek rider, who was dropped a little while ago towards the beginning of the race, is now back and she's moving up on the outsides. Almost at the bottom of Kigali Golf again for this time. Here we go into this climb. Is there going to be some sort of selection over the top? Anya Grossman checks over her shoulder. She wants to try and force this a little bit, moving left and right. She's quite an animated rider in the way she rides. She moves left, she moves right. She wants other people to get involved in the action that she's creating. She checks over her shoulder again. She looks strong. She's carrying the colours of Switzerland proudly today. 14% gradient, and she's making it look pretty easy. Arabella Blackburn dropping away a little bit because of this gradient. She's been doing a lot of work. Italy still with 3 riders locked together in this group. Canada with 2 riders. Aarons gets dropped again. These climbs are just not for her. You've got to admire the way she's fighting. She's trying everything she can to stay in the group. Paul Ostis, right-hand side in the blue of Spain with that white and kind of yellow-coloured helmet, the Movistar colours. Australia still with 3 riders in this group now. All the Australians are in position. Hannah Gennati, Niamh Parslow and Tully Schweitzer now all in this group of riders in this selection. French rider still looking good, Thierry Poirier. She's totally on her own, having lost her teammate before the start, and her other teammate has abandoned the race. Rides for the Mormont development team. She's a very good climber. Shikova at the back of the group now. Over the top of Kigali Golf. That's that 800-metre climb at 8.1%. Yet again, the group of riders have been dropped, desperately trying to get themselves back to the race to swell the numbers at front. Riders constantly taking gels on board, trying to keep the nutrition levels as high as they can, because we're entering the critical part of this Junior World Championship. Well, the last few years it's been Kat Ferguson, Julie Bigot, Zoe Baxter, Megan Jastrab who've been the winners. Before that, there's some other famous medalists in this world title. Emma Norsgaard won a silver medal in 2017. Elisa Balsamo was the winner in 2016. Chloe Dygert 10 years ago in 2015. And Ishkashkalmak Soika won bronze medals in 2015 and 2014. We remember Amelia Diedrichson, who won gold in 2013 and 2014. And this afternoon, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot comes back for the second year run into the World Championships as the winner now of the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift, gold medalist in 2010 and silver medalist in 2009. Ferrand-Prévot is one of the race favourites for the women's race this afternoon. 15 years since she won gold in the junior race. She's also been the elite world champion before as well in Pontferrada. We're almost at the cobbles now. Just 2.1 kilometres until the cobbled section for the penultimate time. Spain are in control. It's amazing that we had 18 riders and now we're back up at nearly 40. Just shows how junior racing can go sometimes. Sergei Kyrgios moves up on the left-hand side in the colours of Ethiopia again. She starts to look like she's maybe feeling better. Let's hope she doesn't have that mechanical issue again at the bottom of this climb. Lia Marta of Switzerland constantly leaving just 2 or 3 bike lengths. A moment of a lull again before we hit the cobbles and rumble our way up them for the penultimate time in this race. We're nearly 10 o'clock in the morning. These riders have been up for hours. The preparation time being presented to the crowd, signing on, getting themselves ready. I saw the Spanish team all warming up on the rollers before the start of this race. All of them in a line, all together, the Spanish squad of Almeida, Aranguren, Castro, Nera and Ostis. They were alongside each other, chatting away in the pits area, just trying to get those legs warmed up nicely ahead of the race.
So we decided 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Thanks very much for joining us. I hope that your rider you're cheering on is here in the peloton and still going well. If you'd like to be in touch, @McCrossan is where you can get hold of me. Don't forget to follow at UCI_cycling. We hit the cobbles for the penultimate time in this race. Let's just see who's prepared to take this on. Aaron Boothman moves up on the right-hand side. Yet again, it's Anya Grossman in the red and white on the left. Poland's starting to look interested now as we come towards the conclusion of this race. Maria Okreczynska is their sole representative, number 16. Still Italy with 3 riders. France on the right-hand side with Poirier. Who is going to force this pace? Who is going to cause the selection? Now Spain's starting to lose riders. Armenia goes, so does Aranguren. And Arabella Blackburn is being dropped as well, having been at the front of the peloton a little while ago. kind of a drag race now. The legs are hurting. They don't have the same snap that they had before. Romania just rocking and rolling left and right, trying to take some of the steepness out of this particular climb. Marta Dolvin being dropped for Norway as well. The Ukrainian has dropped, and now the Ethiopian comes to the front again, Sege Kiros. She's the rider who did the damage a couple of laps ago. We're heading towards the bell, a key moment, because Kiros is just kind of struggling to find her line on this particular rise this time. But we are losing more riders. It seems that the pace is a lot harsher. The Greek rider still in there towards the back. Up with the meet through. Is riding strongly, and the USA have representatives. Australia on the right hand side. Aaron Boothman of Great Britain is up there. Hasn't been anywhere near the front. This is Gabriella McHugh. Great Britain have won 3 of the last 5. That doesn't sound healthy, does it? Now the Australian team decides time to up this pace. Is this going to be one of the main selections? A good move here. I don't know about you, but I love this shot of the... It just reminds me so much of a European classic. Suddenly the Polish rider, Orkaczynska, has been dropped. Also being distanced now is Lydia Cusack. Little groups of riders spread all over this cobbled climb. A real push now, a real selection starting to be made. This is the time when you really to force. Paula Ostis looks so comfortable for Spain. We reach the top. There may be still an opportunity for some riders to come back, depending on how hard this group of riders force it now over the top. Riders just take a big deep breath as they go over the top of this climb and get themselves set for this fast section downhill, and then another climb up towards the top. Underneath the red kite, 1,000 metres to go to the end of this lap, and we get the bell. A group of, what, 20-odd riders now at the front. Orkaczynska comes back for Poland. She makes it onto the back of the group. So we're going to see now what the average speed has been so far, how the riders are doing, because the selection is potentially being made. Anya Grossman still is the rider who consistently checks left and right as riders just survive and come back. And if this happens next lap, then riders could find themselves sprinting for the win from the back group. Because every single time we get here, everybody just looks at each other. Kiros is there. So is the Norwegian rider who's looked good all day. Oda Gissinger is in this front group. And still more riders return. Coming back is Rusmula. It's kind of stalemate. There are riders who have not even thought about being at the front of this race today. They've just hidden all day. Coming up then to complete this lap. One lap of racing to go in this Junior World Championship. And it's stalemate at the front of the peloton. There's too much at stake. Anya Grossman and Dore are the two riders who lead. So across the line that time it was Dore, Grossman, Silo, Kiros, Carrier of Canada, Swerenga of Canada is up there as well, Kissinger of Norway, Therese Poirier, Laura Feeve of Belgium, Niamh Parslow of Australia, Erin Boothman of Great Britain, Chantal Pagolo of Italy, Paula Ostis of Spain, Tully Schweitzer of Australia is there, Maria Oruczynska of Poland is at the back, Liliana Edwards is also there. The group swelled to 24 riders as we made our way across there, and the average speed 34.013. The average speed that lap was actually helped to increase the average speed of the race. 24 riders at the front. Another group of riders trying to come back. One lap to go. The Chilean rider makes it back as well. Marlon Rojas wearing number 50. Number 61 there is Danchina. Everybody seems to be looking at Anya Grossman as the rider who has dictated everything. She is a fantastic bike rider, as you can see there. She's a great mountain biker. Now it comes down to whether someone is prepared to attack, take the risk and go away. Because there's not far left now, 14 kilometres of racing. The Italian rider on the left-hand side in that white helmet is Elena De Laurentiis. So there's 3 riders from Australia, 3 from Italy, 3 from the USA. Let you look at the rest of the riders who are in here. Now we get an attack. Big move off the front. You've got to be prepared to take some risks. And Rusmula is a rider who is prepared to take some risks. Anya Grossman tries to go across, snaps on the pedals. Italy try and close the gap. They want this to be a sprint up the final climb. So Rusmula goes. She's joined immediately by Spikarova. Anya Grossman trying to go across now. She gets there. This is a very, very dangerous move in this race. They hit the bottom of the penultimate climb with 6.7 kilometres to go. Grossman is going to make it into the front group to make it 3 attackers. The Czechia rider into second place. Spikarova. Anya Grossman just trying to make the junction now, which she does. Immediately goes to the front to try and assist in this group of riders going away. But it is Canada who don't want this to happen. They're going to close the gap. They believe that Swarenga can win this race this afternoon. So here we go then, another counter-attack starts to happen and Swarenga closes the gap immediately. So Swarenga up towards the front. Maybe they're riding now for Canada, for Raphael Carrier. She rides, she's ridden for the Airbnb Hotel squad this year, 2025, trainee from the 1st of August. She's won a few races this year. She's the Canadian road race champion. She's the rider on the right, just took a bottle with a red helmet on. And a big attack. Roos Muller tries to go again. If you don't succeed the first time, try again. Anya Grossman tries to go. Sydney Swarenga wants to make sure that this comes back. But Roos Muller has been a rider who's been distanced a couple of times in this race, and now she's trying to open up an advantage before the climbs to give herself a chance of winning. If at first you don't succeed, try again with 10.9 kilometers to go. Roos Muller of the Netherlands goes clear. This is a dangerous move. She's a powerful bike rider. Roos Muller now on the move. This rider rides for the NXTG racing team. Very important squad in development of women's cycling, that NXTG team. They brought so many bike riders through. They used to own the AG Insurance team, which is now part of the Sudal Quickstep team. But they've been amazing at spotting talent. Roos Muller goes through, and immediately the Polish rider sets an opportunity as well. Okruczynska onto the wheel. Sydney Swarenga is the rider in the white helmet, multicoloured bike just behind. Still, the Amata is at the back. Megan Arons, who has been a rider with 9 lives today. She really has. She has come back so many times. Things are really mixing up at the moment. The Italians are comfortable. Elena De Laurentiis pulls some water on her head. Not far to the bottom of the climb. 2 kilometers. Arabella Blackburn comes back to the front for Great Britain, having been dropped to try and help Erin Boothman win this title. Abigail Miller is there on the right, the Greek rider to her left-hand side. So is Megan Arons, number 22. It's all going to be about who has got it on these final 2 climbs. Can you stay in the mix? Can you go with the get set by the climbers? These riders will believe that this is their race today. Still Australia with their riders intact. so difficult to pick, isn't it? Who's going to win this title? There's so
Eh,
many
nanjye ndi
riders who
kubibona.
have got a chance.
kuko sinzi impamvu itaboostinga kandi
The average speed now
and-
over 35
Yeah.
miles an hour. They've speeded up over the last couple of laps.
kuvugiramo nyine sinjye nawe turiho se.
Arabella Blackburn turns over around and takes a little look. The French rider tucks herself in. Thais Poirier. Anya Grossman is there. Little conversation at the front between these riders. Everybody looks pretty intent now. We are pretty close to the bottom of this climb. Are we going to see some attacks? Eve Parslow of Australia has always been near the front, and she is moving up again. Tilly Schweitzer is there too. Still, Arabella Blackburn sets the pace for Great Britain. When do we see the first attacks? Are they going to move on Kigali Golf? Raphael Carrier on the right-hand side for Canada. Kissinger at the back, number 18, gives the legs a shake. She's ready for the moves, but she needs to move up a little bit. Still stalemate in this junior women's road race. It's a little nervy in there now. Riders who are thinking about taking this title, but it's really anybody's race. Paula Ostis, left-hand side of Spain, moves up. Up into mid-through, moves on the left-hand side in that blue and white jersey. Gets into the aero tuck as she comes forward. Didn't expect when we saw 18 riders left that we would have so many riders in with a chance. And still, everybody, a little bit of balking of Sydney Sharenga there of Canada. Anya Grossman goes. Spain try and make sure that everybody is still controlled. And Arabella Blackburn, having done her work, is distanced. Being dropped again is Roosmuller. Also being distanced is Hannah Giannati of Australia. So Australia have 2 riders left. Ethiopian rider makes her move on the right hand side. Doesn't seem to have the legs she had earlier on in this race. Maybe did a little bit too much work. Also had that big chase when she had the mechanical. But she's forcing. Anya Grossman has ridden on the front most of this race today. Kissinger is hanging on the back as Fury is dropped. $450 meters to go. Swarenga in the middle, Grossman in the white and red of Switzerland. Paul Ostis with her team on the left-hand side. Raphael Carrier on the right-hand side. Papademetriou is tucked in. The Ethiopian rider not prepared to go on the attack here this time. She's still there or thereabouts. Sergei Kiros. Sunshine comes out onto the back of the riders as they hug the right-hand side of the road, and it's still a bit of stalemate. There's been no real acceleration, but finally Spain start it. And we get the accelerations because they need to make it hard, otherwise there's going to be too many riders left in this race. It becomes a big lottery if you don't get rid of some riders. And that sudden acceleration drops some riders. Laura Fever's dropped for Belgium. Also distanced is Liam Marta of Switzerland. But the pace goes out again. They're over the top of the penultimate climb of the day. It's all going to be about the cobbles. It's almost a track stand race now. They're going to let everybody back in after having had that little acceleration. How does this race get won? Is someone going to launch and just take an opportunity? Because right now, if you launch and you try, you never know what might happen. Abigail Miller comes back. Moving up on the outside is Gissinger. Does she try and go on the move? No one is prepared to take a risk. But you take 20 seconds right now and you never know. More riders come back. It is a course that's called stalemate in the women junior race. Ryan Rojas, right-hand side. Anja Grossman looking for a big win for Switzerland. The first ever winner of this race in 1987 was Catherine Marcel. Other winners include Ashton Barry's mum, Dermot Barry. She won in 1989 in Moscow. The Lidl Trek Sports Director, Ina Yoko Tutterberg, won. And finally, we get a rider prepared to take a risk. This is a big move. The Greek rider decides, I'm not prepared to wait for the sprint. Papadimitriou goes. Big acceleration. This is a good move by Papadimitriou. Big acceleration, and she's opening up a little bit of a gap now. Maybe she doesn't trust to have the sprint up the final climb. And a big long group of riders. Irini Papadimitriou rides for the NXTG racing team. She'll have been taught how to win bike races by that squad. We're not far from the cobbles. We get there in 2.2 kilometers time, a big stretch of this race. Irini Papadimitriou, look at that big acceleration down the right-hand side, comes from Rhodes in Greece. Well, she's got the gap, and Anja Grossman doesn't necessarily want to close this, otherwise she's going to ruin her own chances. She goes into time trial mode now. There's only a few meters between her and the rest of the peloton, but she's moving well. She won the recent Volta Portugal under-19 race, so don't underestimate this rider. Oh, the Spanish team are going to hunt her down. Checks over her shoulder again. Still Megan Aarons hangs on. And Spain close it down. They want this rider to win on the left-hand side. Paula Ostis, second last year to Kat Ferguson. Now they start to turn. Going to the front, the Polish rider, Okreczynska. 3.3 kilometers now remain in this race. Sergei Kiros is still there for Ethiopia. Paul Ostis on the front. Wonder whether they're going to ride for her now, judging by the amount of work she's doing at this point in the race. It's not a good time to be doing that. We come down and we get ready for the cobbles for the final time. Maybe she felt it was important to be at the front. Now we get onto the cobbles and Anya Grossman decides to go. This is her time to accelerate. Grossman decides it's time to put on the hurt for everybody else. This is a big acceleration. Paula Ostis is with her. Erin Berthman is there. So is Sydney Swarenga. And the Ethiopian rider, Segi Kiros, is there as well. This is the moment in this race where you have to fight and have to be at the front of this bike race. Kaczynska is also there. Paula Ostis suffering on the left-hand side, stamping on the pedals. But Anya Grossman is going to go full flight all the way. Oh, and Erin Berthman again pulls her feet out of the pedals. Why? They haven't fixed that over the last few days. That's incredible. She pulled her foot out. Or maybe it's cramp or something's happened. Tully Schweitzer also. And disappointment for the British rider. Anya Grossman ups the tempo. Paula Ostis right hand side. Swarenga is there. So is the Ethiopian Sege Kiros. This could be an historic moment for Africa. She doesn't seem to quite have the legs right now. She's going a little bit backwards. Two Italian riders still there. And Anya Grossman has gone full flight all the way up this climb. Ora Kaczynska is dropped. Sege Kiros fighting for all she is worth. The two Italian riders are still in the group. Chantal Pagolo and Giada Silo. Anya Grossman gets set. The French rider is dropped. Thais Poirier is out the back. And suddenly the Ethiopian rider cracks as well. That's a shame for her. Segi Kiros, I think she did too much work too early. And we have a selection of 5 riders now at the front. Anya Grossman has literally ripped this race apart on the final climb. So we could do this, and that's such a bad moment for Erin Berthman. Surely someone should have checked those pedals.